Hello, I'm out getting ready to pick some berries, and I thought I'd do a quick tour of my berry areas. Look at that. There's blueberries on there. I have chicken wire wraps so the birds won't get to it. Those are the ligonberries. Ligonberries. Those don't come until probably fall, I believe. And I only say that because they taste like cranberries. This big thing here, this is either a currant. Yeah, I think these are currants. One is a currant and one is a jostaberry over here. Has a bunch of green berries, tons of them. Wow. A lot of these, this is the first time they've ever actually bore fruits, because these are about, I don't know, 3 years old or so. So yeah, they're just now maturing. That one doesn't have anything on it. And this is another jostaberry, gooseberry, currant. I mean, not gooseberries. Gooseberries are over here. Currant. Current situation. And this is what I came to pick. They're starting to fall on the ground already. These are the gooseberries, and I believe you just pick them when they're fairly soft. They're very sweet. I'm gonna eat this one. Make sure it's clean. And no seeds. Kind of reminds me of a grape, but not a green grape, but not as sweet. I do have some currants over here too. That look like they're ready. These are probably, these are probably the champagne currants, because they're pink. Oh, those are ready. Those are much more tart, and they have some little, like, edible seeds in them. So those you wouldn't want to eat straight off the vine. Those would probably have to be made into some jam or something, I'm thinking. You could eat the gooseberries. They are sweet and they do taste like grapes, but I am probably going to make jam. I might even combine those with those currants that are ready and just do it a gooseberry currants jam. My strawberries are still putting out a few here and there, but the major flush is done. Yeah, so yeah, I got quite a few strawberries off of these plants. Very happy with that. This is another blueberry plant, and it has a lot of berries on it. And there's one back there. I don't see anything on that one though. There's probably a couple of more blueberry plants scattered. The raspberries are looking great. Man, this thing like doubled in size over the past couple of months. It's humongous. I can't even tell you. It's as tall as me. So it's almost 6 feet tall. It's about 5'5", and good gosh, it's probably 5 feet wide too. I tied it all up because it was flopping after we had this big windstorm. I don't want to cut anything though till I get my raspberries off of here, but most of them are still green. They're just starting to turn red, some of them, and they are literally all over this thing. It looks like they're mostly on the tips. So I don't know, new growth or whatever, but they're covering the whole thing. So after I harvest them all, I will take that thing down halfway, and then I'll get rid of a lot of the canes. I don't want it to get too big, so I usually just save, you know, maybe a dozen canes, and I get rid of the rest. So that's what I'm doing there. Oh my, look at these poppies. So I can zoom in. The bees, you probably can't see the bees. There you go. The bees are all over those things. They're beautiful poppies. I'm leaving them there, like I said before, for the seed pods. I want to see that green seed pod. I have to wait till all the flowers are spent, and then I'm going to collect those and probably dry them so I can use them in bouquets. Yeah, and I'm out here to cut flowers as well as harvest those gooseberries. I have a bunch of snapdragons here that are ready. There's some pink larkspur in the back. These bachelor's buttons, this is the second flush. The first flush, which came pretty early spring, I basically just cut that back to a couple of inches above the ground, and now look, it's all flushed out again. I'm not cutting the bachelor's buttons though. I have other flowers to cut now, and I don't really like dealing with those, as I said before, but it is a nice pop of color here for sure. This deal, I'm of two minds about it. It's so pretty for bouquets, and it's huge, so it takes up a lot of space, but the pollen, once the flowers start to get old, that yellow pollen goes everywhere. So what I am doing, I cut a little bit of it fresh, but I'm trying to see what happens when it goes to seed pods, because then I don't have to worry about the pollen, and I can still probably use it. It still looks airy and nice, so I'm going to test some of that out and see how long it lasts. I'm letting the coriander definitely go to seed pods, which is looking good. I probably could come harvest most of this. Yeah, it was another one that it's pretty, but it didn't last very long in the vase. That was the problem I had with that. The Orlea, I'm letting a lot of this go to seeds too. Again, it's pretty. And the pollen is what I had an issue with this one. See that? So as the flower starts to get a little bit older, you get this white pollen everywhere, and I don't particularly care for that all over the table, all over everything. So I don't know. I'm gonna let them go to seed pods, and then I can dry it too, so I can use it for longer. But yeah, that's the status of that. And my status is just now starting to open up, so that's pretty cool because I'm running out of Buplurum, so I probably need a new filler. I've been using these Bells of Ireland in every bouquet. I love that stuff. It's supposed to be a one and done flower, like you cut one stem and it's over, but not so, because all of mine's branched out like a shrub, and so each stem was almost the same length, and so I got tons of stems I've gotten off of there. There's still a few more. They're all open now, and they last a long time in the vase, even more importantly. I mean, over a week, easy. So I got a few sunflowers I need to cut. There's one. You have to cut them when they're just starting to open up. There's another one. And all the ones I've grown are pollenless. A lot of the pro cuts. Yeah, so that helps definitely in terms of cut flowers. I think this is one of the purple fill or green fill, where it's like kind of like the backside of the sunflower without petals. So yeah, and then that mahogany splendor is finally big enough where I think I can start cutting a little off of it. Look at that color. This is a cut flower filler with that color. Man, that is beautiful. I pulled out all the celosia that was over here because that stuff, one, it's hard to use it, as I've said before, especially the trailing ones. It wasn't celosia, it was like an amaranth kind of thing. So I had these tassels, and that was hard to use in a cut flower bouquet. And that amaranth in general, at least in my garden, attracts so many aphids. It's usually covered with aphids, and even though I spray, so I had to get rid of that. And I need to come out and cut this grass stuff. I'm using it for this tassel. I mean, I don't like the leaves, it reminds me of corn or weed, but these tassels are beautiful. So, and I noticed some of the leaves are starting to brown, so that is my cue that it's probably time to get that out of here and use it or dry it. It probably would dry well, I'm thinking. Oh, there's another sunflower already. I was supposed to be talking about, almost ready to cut. I was supposed to be talking about berries. I got sidetracked. Okay, berries. Now, this is my berry and grape patch. These are the ones I really love. These are the Snowbank white blackberries. Delicious. This is a thornless variety. The thornless ones, in my opinion, aren't as sweet and aren't as good, but they're turning red. I gotta put up my scare tape for the birds. I need to do that today. This one doesn't have as many on it, but that's okay because this was another one that is a thornless, so I wasn't that excited about those. These had been broken, these three, and they've grown a lot, and then I have tied off the canes I wanted to keep, and so I'm not expecting anything off of these. I'm gonna cut that. I'm not expecting anything off of these this season. This one does have a few, but yeah, but they're like babies all over again. So here is a Marionberry, there's a Loganberry, and a Boysenberry. And those berries, I haven't had the Loganberry yet. It has yet to give me any fruit, but the other two are wonderful. I do like them. My grapes are doing well. Again, I gotta put up my scare tape because these birds, I tell you, they be on the prowl and they're not getting my grapes. So with the grapes, you see those? Oh, those look fantastic. OMG. Like I said, I got some Concord grapes here. I think I have maybe 2 of those, and the rest are red and green eating grapes, table grapes. Now what I do is I basically prune mine to 2 canes per plant. So, you know, there's 1 stalk coming up out of the ground, and then I'll let it split in 2. And then I'll let that get tall enough to each one of those can reach the top of this trellis here, which I don't know how tall that is, close to, you know, 6 feet. And then I just kind of cut off any other branches up to that point, and then the 2, once they get to the top, I make one go to the right, one goes to the left, and then I let twigs, I don't know what you call them, bracts, hang down from that. A few, I mean, because, you know, it can only take up so much space because they're next to each other. So I'll let it extend maybe 3 or 4 feet on either side, and let a few of the stems hang down, and get rid of everything else. So it's a lot of pruning over here, definitely, because they grow prolifically, the leaves and the stems, but I just want a few big clusters. I don't want a bunch of little clusters and craziness everywhere, and I need to keep it tamed. I mean, everything I have is in a small footprint, so I have to keep things a manageable size. So that's working for me so far. I'm very happy. I even have a couple of other grapes here in the second row, and the rest is all the dahlias, which I have a few of those I have to cut, which I've let go too far. But look at this. Look. Oh, that is so pretty. OMG. There's one that's not quite fully open. I'm gonna cut those. This one looks like it's gonna be a yellow orangish. None of the other ones have flowered yet, but they're all budded up, and they're nice size, most of them. There's still a couple of stragglers, but let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 14. Looks like I have 14 dahlia plants. I mean, there may be 2 growing together somewhere, but it doesn't look like it. 14. I couldn't tell you how many I planted out here, but it was more than 14, I'm pretty sure. I probably had at least 20, so a number of them didn't come up, but that's okay. I got them all at a discount. A lot of them I order online after, I guess, when they were clearancing out the last of them for the season. So I got them pretty cheap. And then Walmart had a bunch of them. I happened to be at Walmart, and I got a bunch of them there, and they were cheap, like $5 for 2 corms or something like that. And my vegetable patch is looking good. It's almost time to harvest out this. This is a mix of garlic and onions in there. But oh my God, look at this oregano. That thing is huge. Yeah, that's an oregano. It's a perennial. It comes back every year, so that's how it can get so huge. And the sage comes back every year. My fennel bulbs, I am so excited about this fennel because I love fennel. And I have never been able to successfully grow it until now. I gotta figure out what I did differently. Anyway, I'm excited. Lots of celery over there. I got a recipe for a celery apple salad that I'm going to make. Still a few of my sugar snap peas. Those are burgundy sweet peas. Man, I came out here just the other day and I cut every flower off of there. And in 2 days, see all those burgundy flowers? All of that is from the last 2 days. So, and I just grew that just because sweet peas are pretty and I wanted to grow some of the flowery ones. But I have, there's been so many that when I cut them, I have been putting them in little posies and little short bud vases. So I have been using them and they do last longer than I thought. Probably about 4 days I've been getting out of those. So no complaints. They're not long enough to use in flower bouquets or anything though, so I don't. Lots of basil in here because I was growing that for the cut flower bouquets. And it's just now taken off, of course, beginning of July 1st. And it's looking good though. So we'll see if I'll be able to use any of it. There's a humongous squash. There's 2 plants. That huge mass there is just 2 plants. So I've gotten zucchini off of one. I'm not sure which kind the other one is because it hasn't given me anything yet. My corn, it's getting tall. I don't have a lot of corn. I mean, there's maybe 20 stalks there, which is more than enough for me. I usually freeze it. That way when I need corn for something, I can use it. There is a little amaranth over here. Oh my goodness. So I gotta come out and get rid of that soon. And random sunflowers that just popped up from last year's. I had a sunflower patch here, so they reseeded, some of them. And I let a couple stay. I've been pulling them out all spring because I don't want a bunch of tall sunflowers here because they're spaced so far apart. Those things would grow to be 8 feet tall, and I don't need an 8-foot tall sunflower. I need short sunflowers, like 3 to 4 feet tall. All right, so yeah, I've talked enough. That was just supposed to be me talking about berries. And Bella has snuck in. All right, see you next time. Bye bye.